Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Week 5 wrap-up for the Big MFL. I am your host, The Commish. This week, sponsored by Coffee. Did a little bit too much hanging out with the other sponsors last night while we were in the, let's say, film room. We were in the film room, had too much of last night's sponsors. Ran all out. Today's one of those slow kind of days, you know what I'm saying? Coffee, getting us through it. Well, let's get through it. I'm going to break down some scores from the week. In the North, we had the Terrorists edging out the Legends. We have Rudy's Living Room Warriors handing it to Carlos's Switch Hitters. We had the Soul Crushers continuing their streak as they just destroyed the second city. Maybe it's time for you to go back to your first city. And then we had Running Rowdy straight off surgery in a game of the week blowout shooting game, not a blowout, a close game, high scoring game over Vince's Cherishes. Going down to the Wild West, we had the Colorado Money team in a intensely high scoring game as they edged out the Sesame Street Monsters. We go on next to the Your Mama Rocks as they continue to rock, now hotter than heck, as they edge out Berserk. We had the JDs dropping a monster score as they took care of, I won't even say their score, the Winter Soldiers. Go Kings Go! Must have gotten tired of me making fun of you as you claimed another huge victory, destroying Denver's Demons. Next we go on to the South. Suck La Leche winning on the last drive of the game, thank you to Skittles Lynch, as they edge out the Desmadres who cannot find a win. The original defending champ Money team, great high scoring game as they were able to knock off Steel Giant. Kim Jong Soldiers remain undefeated against not another loss. And then Domination did just that as they sent Pablo's Diablos back down under. Next in the East, we had the Peña Bingasms remaining undefeated in a very high scoring game as they handily still beat the Hybrids. And then we have the Dingleberries just dropping Dingleberries all over this game as they handle easily the Berserk Mercanurk. The War Pigs in a down, dirty, muddy, ugly game just squeaked one out. Greasy Pig one away from the Tarantulas by Antonio. And Paul's boys continue just to play hardball as they take care of Tankers Rule. Going on now, we will break it down into the power rankings. Number one, reclaiming their spot. That is the Sesame Street Monsters, up one spot. Number 2, slipping down. That's Kim Dong Sodas, slipping down one spot. Number 3, the second highest riser of the week, rising 4 spots. That's the Fingasms. Number 4, up one spot, Domination. Number 5, the highest riser of the week, that is Jan's Running Rowdy. Number 6, coming from unranked territory last week, that's the original Money team. Number 7, slipping 3 spots, that's the Terrorists. Number 8, the tied for the biggest dropper of the week, that's Joey's Denver Demons. Number 9, from unranked territory, crawling into the bottom here, that's the Cherishes. Number 10, also crawling in from unranked, that's the Dingleberries. And number 11, the tied for the second biggest slipper, holding on to knocking on the door now, that's the Tankers Rule. Breaking that down by division, we have the North, South, and East, all with 3 teams in the top 11. The weakest division by this standards is the West, only 2 teams getting in. Now going on to the shitted on category. The new most shitted on team, that's the Berserk Mer Connection. You got shitted on a whole lot this week as you rose 3 spots. Remaining unchanged for the second unluckiest team, that's the Sesame Street Monsters. Pablo's Diablos got shitted on a little less this week as they slip in the shitty list by 2. A little slippery in that shit. Number 4, rising 1 spot, that's the Running Rowdy. And number 5, coming from shitted on territory, they just got dumped on by Dom. So bad that they got into the top 5. That's the Winter Soldiers. Moving on to our MVP category here. We got, maybe I need a coffee break. All right, MVP. Back-to-back defending champion, that's Antonio Brown. Number 2, up 1 spot. He keeps climbing. Hopefully his legs stay on this season. That's DeMarco. Number 3, climbing back up 1 spot, Julio Jones. Number 4, slipping down 2 spots, that's Jordy. And number 5 from unranked territories, finally breaking off some big game, that's Matt Forte. The high scores of the week. Number 1 and new 2014 season leader, that is Kazi's Dingleberries with the 168.5. That's the new record right now for this season. Holding on to that. Second place this week was the JD's. 3rd, Colorado Money. 4th was Go Kings Go, getting it together and still going. And number 5 was Forest Soul Crushers. Moving on to the jokes, the pathetic scores of the week. And this is, we don't even keep this stat, but I'm going to keep it for you now. The most pathetic score I can remember in history of the MFL goes to you, Nick, and your Winter Soldiers, dropping 51.6. I think Peyton Manning outscored you this week. Number 2 was, no, not again, Kenny. Number 3, maybe this team's just too old, the original Des Madres. Number 4, maybe getting a little too high up there, or the altitude's too high, that's Joey's Denver Demons. And number 5, maybe feeling a little homesick, DJ, is your Second City, was the 5th worst score of all 32 teams. Want to give out another shout out as these 2 teams survive another week, improving to 5-0 Sam's Kim Jong Soldiers and Pena the Rookies. Orgasm Fingasms. Fingasms. Let's go on to some streaks. The positive streaks. The Terrorists on 4-game winning streak. Soul Crushers on 4-game winning streak. Your Mama Rocks 3 games. And Domination 3 games. On the slippery side of the streak, they got the Cherishes dropping 3 straight. The Winter Soldiers dropping 3 straight. Des Madres dropping 3 straight. Hybrids lost 4 straight. And the Tarantulas as well with 4 straight losses. Moving on to our rookies and sophomore battle. The rookies are handing it to the sophomores, which further proves the sophomore slump is real. Rookies are at a 57% winning percentage there, as the sophomores are only at 38%. Oh shit. And just to let you know, if you skip out on your sophomore season, the jinx continues to when you come back. So there's no really like, I'll skip my sophomore and come back and be good. Right, Nick? And now, let's allow notes here, a little bit on our standings. In the North, a very, very tight race in the North. Heated battle, as only 2 games separate the number 1 team from the non-playoff team. This one's going to get it down all the way. In the South, the most disparative team division of them all. Not even close. The top 3 teams are just pulling away from everybody. 1 game separates 4th place from out of the playoffs here. Top 3, you might as well start booking your rooms. Y'all looking like you're in the playoffs already. In the West, a very, very, very heated game. This is the toughest division. You guys are just a equally mess of a division, as only 1 game separates the top dog. Home field advantage in a 50, if I need to remind you what number 1 gets you. from not even making the playoffs. 1 game. And in the East, 1 and 2 are already booking their rooms, as 3 through last are only 2 games out. That's it. That's your wrap. Peace.